Hello, everybody. Welcome to B Plus, All Things Window Film Podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest. We have Tommy Silva in the house. Tommy is blessed us to come on the show. He's got just a little bit of time. He's right in the middle of his workday in Hawaii. Tommy, thank you for being here. I know you're a busy man.
Oh,
Um,
no problem. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, good to have you. It seems we might have a little bit of a lag in the audio. So if it's not coming through, just post some notes, you guys, and Angie will get on that. Yep, yep. So, Tommy, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man.
Yeah,
We are surviving the COVID transition right now and pivoting and doing what we got to do to stay alive and stay open and follow the CDC rules. And we're still pretty tight lockdown. We're in tier three of our four tiers, so it's getting better. Um, Tourism has just started to open back, so that has helped us a lot. We're getting a lot of our local people back to work in the tourist in hotels and tour companies and all of our attractions here. So that puts a lot of well, yes, I should say, highly needed dollars back into the economy. It's just been very dead. I mean, our tourism. We went from getting 30 to 35,000 people a day in Oahu down to about 200.
wow. Yeah,
Yes, devastating. I mean, it looked like the end of the world driving through or walking Waikiki. Just a single hotel room light on and every building completely blacked out. It was eerie and glad to see it's over so far and it's getting much better.
yeah, yeah. Well, those of us that follow you on Facebook, we saw your challenges that you posted, and you were a leader in getting a lot of things, moved along in that aspect. And, that's important. Like you say, somebody's work like what yours, how it branches over into all the other industries. Yeah, Hawaii, very tourist. Yes, you guys rely a lot on tourist activity.
Yeah. It's number one, right behind our government employers, I think. We used to be our number one industry was agriculture, yeah, sugar cane, and pineapple, but that's done. I mean, there's very little agriculture here now, just because of the cost of the land, labor, and it just makes it, it's cost prohibitive. So every sugar cane and pineapple cannery and field here is pretty much gone. It's just shut down and facility torn down, and so it's back. I mean, it's too expensive. The land here not growing. The Big Island, and lava flow keeps making that island a little bit bigger. But yeah, Oahu is not growing. It's very congested, and it's a big city. We've got 1.4 million people here on this little rock. So and just as many cars. It's very congested, and so it's a challenge. I mean, it's a fine balance between being too crowded and I mean, if it's not crowded and you don't have revenue, that's why everybody asks, "What open a TNT in Kauai or Maui or anywhere else?" And we have 1.4 million cars in the state, and 1.1 million of those cars are here on Oahu. Make much sense to open up a shop, with the 300,000 other vehicles spread out on four or five other islands.
Yeah, yeah, that that's true. When I first met you, Tommy, we were out there on vacation,
Yeah.
and I read about you in Window Film magazine, and I said I got to meet this guy, and so we dropped by, and in case you guys are wondering, this is one of the most humble men in there is. I mean, I want to just show you here a picture I've got. His shop, I don't know if you can see his shop, but his shop can house 10 cars, all getting tinted at the same time. I dropped in. I dropped in with my wife and a friend in the middle of the day because I just had to meet Tommy. And Tommy stopped what he was doing and came downstairs from up above your decorative film department in the back there. You came down and you took 20 to 30 minutes with us, showing us around and talking to us. It was just amazing. I thank you for that. I thank you
Yeah.
for that.
The door's always open for our counterparts that come from the mainland and all over the world. Even we've had people from England and Russia and all over the world that's dropped by and graced us with their presence. And it's cool to chat and talk story and exchange pointers and tips, and we figure things out a certain way and you guys figure it out, and when we share information that way, it just helps the entire industry move forward and become more professional and more respected throughout the world.
Absolutely. A giver's heart, no doubt. And that's what our podcast here is all about, Tommy. It's B plus,
Uh,
be all you can be basically, and B plus all things window film. So, you've been on my mind since I started. This is, I believe, our fourth episode. And it's like, I can't
cool.
wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I had to dream up this whole Hawaiian giveaway just so I could get you on here. Okay. And in case you guys are wondering, if you don't mind a little shameless plug, Tommy. So for Donnie Dixon, okay, a gentleman in our industry with some health challenges, Coolview has donated a Hawaii vacation to the cause for us to raffle that off. And part of, besides just the glorious trip to Hawaii and all the fun things that are going to go along with that, is a day in the Bay. And Tommy has agreed to for the person that wins that raffle, for that person to come in for a day and just hang out with this crew and see what a well-oiled machine does in throughout their day. And Tommy, again, for that, thank you as well.
No problem. Here's a little bird's eye view of a day in the Bay.
Yeah, look at this shop, guys.
Paint protection on the left here, tinting all around back there. Our showroom's down there, waiting room. The windows upstairs up there on the other side is our employees' gym. Yeah, so it's just a little peek there.
That's amazing. So I said 10 cars. It probably looks like it could hold more. Yeah, that's that man. And awesome. A little bit. Here's a picture of Tommy's crew. I don't even know if it's everybody or what, but I mean, this man's
Almost
got,
every, almost everybody that's short, maybe four people that just couldn't make that shoot.
uh-huh. Big Vista dealer, Lumar dealer, Formula One. Is that right? Formula One, or I see Magnum.
Yeah, no, that's old. Now it's Formula One. Vista, Lumar Security Film and Vista Security Film. They dropped the Magnum name a long time ago as a sticker, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're Cool View dealers. We love the Cool View films. We are graffiti shield dealers. We sell a lot of that too here on elevator surfaces and hotels. And we have a very cool, extensive graphics department. We've been doing a lot of our graphics division has grown a lot in the last 2 3 years. It's probably doubled sales every year the last 4 years. Amazingly, we print graphics now on Lumar 2 mil clear, or we got a whole bunch in today that we printed on Vista 14, so
Okay.
solar film graphic on it. So it's pretty cool stuff we're doing that it's really hitting the ground running, and people are loving it. So yeah, that's just another area that we've been
You know,
expanding into.
that was the one thing that I couldn't wait to talk about was the expansion of other dealers, opportunities into decorative films. I mean, when I was there, we were there for 10 days, and we did a lot of things. We flew to the other islands, and we did a lot of events right there on Oahu. And you could not go to an airport, you could not go to a hotel, you could not go anywhere without seeing Tommy's work. I mean, all the decorative film jobs that you guys do, and for a while there, help me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you guys were plotting it and cutting it and layering and doing all kinds of just badass stuff with your basic frosts and
Yeah,
yeah, it was
I mean, our website is loaded with examples of that. If you want to check that out, it's at tnt.com. Just go to the products, all there.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. That is. I mean, solar controls kind of down around. For pardon me.
The winter, yeah, when it's so cold out and stuff, it's very difficult to do for you guys.
Yeah, but decorative film is definitely a way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, Tommy, you started your business in 1982. Is that right? But
that's correct.
you were tinting before that, right?
Yeah, I was tinting in high school. I was 17 years old as a senior at Pearl City High School, and I was tinting my dad's garage, our home, and tinting at the auto shop at Pearl City High School for tinting my teachers' cars and cars, and started off as a hobby and turned into I was working for somebody else before I opened TNT in '82. It was a small one-man mobile company that I hired me to do the tinting. He didn't know how, but he had a company registered and he had some film. And he gave me a clipboard with a list of addresses and names, and he said, "Go tint these people's cars in their garage." The company was called At Home Auto Glass. I was a mobile tinner, and took that business from just me mobile to two shops with 20 people in about 4 years. And then I left that company and opened TNT Tinning because I probably would still be there if the guy, treated me well. But what happened was the guy I was working for disappeared one day, and I had a new owner overnight. And when I found out, what happened was the guy that I was working for was actually here in Hawaii under the Witness Protection Program out of New Jersey.
Wow.
So my accountant back then, who was the same accountant for that guy who left, he said, yeah, he had to leave overnight because the word was they came in to get him,
Wow.
and he had to vacate. So he sold the company for some cash to a guy and left. And the new guy who took it over just drove it into the ground. So I had to leave. So it forced me to open TNT Tinting back in '82.
Now,
So history.
um, if I read this article right, you literally built an industry in Oahu, then you helped tear it down, if you will, for lack of a better word, then you built it back up because you were tinting for a while and realized that auto tinting was illegal. So then you kind of shifted your focus, Tommy, if I'm right, if I read this article right, to you advertise to adjust to the times that you remove film and you were getting business by removing film.
Actually, what happened was we were tinning back in early '80s, 81, '82, and the legislature decided to ban automotive tinting here in the state of Hawaii. It was in like '80, '81. It hit the papers and it freaked out my wife, of course. I mean, she was like, "Wait, we opened a business and it's illegal." Um, so that was something to deal with. But what happened was they did their research and they found out that it was illegal to tint in Hawaii because out of all 50 states, Hawaii was the only state that didn't have aftermarket tinting law. So even northern Michigan states, these states that have very little sun compared to Hawaii, they had a tint law and we never made one. We never had one. So if you don't have a state tint law, then you fall back to the federal law, which is 70. So we weren't allowed to put 35 or anything on a car darker than 70. So we kind of quickly shut down because I didn't even realize that was an issue because I figured it was nationwide. Everybody was tinting. So we hired a lobbyist and we shut
Yep.
down the tint. And we just, for public service, we just said, you know what, if you have illegal tint, we'll take it off. And we started charging to take film off, and people were freaking out that they're going to fail a safety check and get tickets and all this stuff. So we started removing film as a business. I mean, we couldn't even. And we did that for a year because we had to go into legislation. We had to draft the law. We had to get the Senate and the House to sign off on both of those wings of government, and went to the governor's desk for signature. Finally got signed into law on, I think it was around mid-July of 1982.
And here's where it gets interesting. Listen to this. He took it into his own hands, Tommy. What
Yeah,
did
so
you do, buddy?
lobby, and what happened was before the governor signed it, my lobbyist called me and he said, "Hey, the bill is past the House, past the Senate. It's on the governor's desk, and what's going to happen is he's getting pressure from the state Department of Transportation as well as Honolulu Police Department to let the bill die. And the bill would have died this certain night at midnight." And I told my lobbyist, I said, "What are we going to do?" He said, "Well, the governor is looking at a bill with numbers and letters on it. He can't see the film. He doesn't know what 35% film looks like. He thinks he's being told by the state and by the HPD that it's too dark. They don't want it. So he's going to let it die." So I have a friend back then who used to golf with the governor. And I called him. I said, "Hey, I need a huge favor. I need some time with the governor." And he said, "When?" I said, "Today."
Yeah.
Right? So he arranged for me to pick up the governor at the state capitol in my car so he could see the film. And the governor was willing. He wanted to see it because he didn't really, he had a piece of film, he had the bills, and he'd really never seen it on a car. He didn't know, because he's seen illegal 10, he's seen five and dark cars, and that's kind of what he had in his mind.
Yeah.
And when I met him at the Capitol, he walked around my car. He could see me. He got in the car. He said, "Oh, take me around the block." So I drove him around the Capitol. He could see out perfectly. He said, "I don't see anything wrong with this level of film. What is this again?" And I told him it's 35%. And then, we went back to the Capitol. He got out. He walked around the car again. And he said, "You know what? I'm going to sign your bill." And he went into the Capitol that night and signed the bill before it died at midnight. And we had a tint law. And that was in 1980, 82, 83.
Man, that's an amazing story. Yeah.
And that's when it started. And that wasn't even the end. I mean, that was the beginning. But we got the law passed. Then we started tinting cars, and of course, all the people that tried to get help from, because financially it cost about back then about $30,000 to $40,000 to get everything past the House and the Senate, and buying these campaign contribution tickets and trying to get support for our bills, which we did. And I was trying to get some help from other tint companies, and we everybody was like, "No, no, we're just going to go change business. We're going to do something else. We're going to sell PV." So I didn't have PV back then, but they're selling, you know, vinyl siding, or they're just going to get into a different business. And that's what a lot of them did. And then as soon as they got the law passed, all of a sudden their shops opened back up and they're mobile again, and they're all advertising, trying to get right back into the business. They didn't help us at all. The effort to get the law. And then we had a lot of issues with the enforcement part of the bill, which became the law. It specified that the safety inspection stations that we have here needed to inspect the tint annually. And there weren't any meters around at that time to meter the film so that they could do their job. So it went unchecked for 4, 5, 6 years. The market got completely dark. Everybody started doing illegal tint because they couldn't enforce it. And that's when we got the word that they would repeal the law, get it out of the books because they couldn't enforce it. But instead of that, I found a company up in the Milani Tech Park where I live out on the center of the island, collaborated with him and helped him invent a meter to advanced design system meter, which in all the safety inspection stations, HPD even had. So I was his guinea pig. I was helping him with the R&D on it. I brought it into my shops and kept testing it. And we made improvements to the design. Finally got it made, and I actually marketed it to all the safety inspection stations. I sold it to the safety inspection station and to the city and county of Honolulu for all islands police departments. And so then we had actual enforcement, and that created a lot, because a lot of people that went and did illegal tint started coming to our shop and knew so much about these meters and stuff that they knew if they wanted legal, they can come to us.
Right.
So we had an influx of removals and putting 35 on that boosted business.
Yeah. So, wow. I mean, that's an amazing story. Yeah. It really is. It really is. Um, I would like to mention, yeah, you met your wife in kindergarten. Is that right?
Yeah,
Kindergarten, and you're still together today.
kindergarten. Yeah, we've been married. This May, we're going to be 39 years married, but we've known each other pretty much all our lives.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And she's a strong woman, huh, for putting up with you, right?
She is, man. I tell you, she's always helping me with decisions, and I bounce stuff off of her, and she's got a whole different perspective all the time that makes me go, "Oh, I didn't think about it that way." And it really helps me be real balanced and grounded and understand where other people might be coming from. I'm so in it and so busy with a million things flying at me all day long. Sometimes I'm too close to it. So she's a really good partner to have that bounce ideas off of and take a lot of good ideas she gives me.
Yeah. Well, man, she works with you in the business, right?
Comes in about 1 day a week, and then she does stuff out of the house. She does a lot of our forms and our policies and procedures, and she helps with just the admin. Uh, in here, she does a lot of our 30-day customer follow-up calls personally. She'll call every customer that we deal with and just check in and say, how's it going? And did it dry the way we said it would? And is it performing the way? Do you feel any differences? So it's pretty nice to get a call from one of the owners 30 days later. So it's a nice touch that has really been mentioned to us by customers. Like, I didn't expect that. Nobody does that anymore. Most
There's,
companies money and they're gone. You can never find them again. But yeah, we're reaching out again, and we use that opportunity to cross sell and say, what we did your car, do you feel it? Oh, I feel so much cooler. We have films that we can put on your home if you have those kind of same problems in your home that will solve those exact same problems larger scale. And and a lot of those convert into to estimates and sales.
mm, there's a nugget right there, y'all. There's a nugget. Yeah. Follow up. A lot of people, they might be scared to follow up or what have you, but that's your biggest opportunity.
You're right. I mean, you're afraid because what if they see a bubble or something is trapped, between the film and glass, and you're like, oh God. But we welcome that opportunity. If you see anything that looks weird, if they mention this, I didn't want to call in. It was such a small thing, I didn't want to call in. But now that you've called me, I did see something on my driver's window, and it's right where I look out the window.
Yeah.
So stuff like that gets triggered and handled. So my wife will, email the manager of that shop and say, hey, this customer you did last week Saturday, a month ago, they didn't want to call in, but there's an issue with the driver's roll up right at eye level. So our
Hmm.
manager call them, schedule them, get them in and out in a half hour, and they're stoked.
And that's a big part of it. I mean, for the people that are might be afraid, don't be. That's what we do for a living. Get that car in, remove one, put on another one. I mean, remind our installers the same thing. Oh, we have to put a piece of film on a piece of glass. We're blessed, okay, right?
Yeah, tough work. Tough work. That's all computer cut and high quality films. I mean, it's really easy. Our look professional and great industry we're in. I tell you, I mean, we're blessed. We feel so blessed after the 2008 and 29 crash and survived that, bounced right back. And the COVID pandemic is the worst thing we've ever been through. And we're resilient. I mean, we were shut down for 3 months out of the past 10 months or so, completely. But, we bounce right back. I mean, we keep stats on everything we do. I mean, I have a whole wall over here.
Now, what are we
So
seeing?
I see a picture over there. So I have statistics on everything we do. So this is our gross sales, and when we closed, we bounced right back as soon as we opened, and carried on. Where friends of mine that are in the restaurant and bar industry and hotel and
Oh,
tourism industry, they are dying. I mean, they've been a whole year, without sales and without employees in the house. So our industry is not brain injury. We're not curing cancer. We save some energy, we make the cars look cool, and make it feel cool. But we, by the government, we fought a little bit. We got to be, and we went from good sales down to zero. Next day, back to normal sales. That does not happen in business. It doesn't happen. So everybody in our building, all those people you see in the company picture, they're so grateful to be where we are. Nobody knew that this industry, it's just not something you would think of. I mean, you don't go to college to become a window tinter and be a resilient. We're all the misfits.
Yeah, right, right. Have squeegee will travel, right?
So we just lucked out. I mean, all of us that are in this industry, we really lucked out. I mean, we're energy conscious, we're in a cool industry. We're doing all this artistic stuff with graphics, just painting people's view, and it's very surprising that we are all of us where we are in this industry because nobody planned for it to be this. Nobody I can tell you, nobody that's been in the industry for 30 or 40 years saw it going into their, and people like Bill Burke and all those guys, like Bay and all that. They really work hard to make this industry, a trade. So yeah, we were very blessed, all of us.
Yes, the other true pioneers.
I've been doing it now for 44 years, and I love it. It's still challenging, it's still fun, and we're still innovative in the industry, and we keep trying to find ways. And that's what I tell my guys, like, hey, do well today, and then just do a little bit better tomorrow, a little bit better the next day, a little bit better the next day. And we've been doing that for 39 years. We've been doing a little bit better every year, and that's why we are where we are. If you stay the same, you die.
Yeah, you die. Yeah, you know, other. I don't want to steer or direct your answer, but other than COVID, okay, what would you say for the other shop owners to hear or other window tuners would have been maybe one of your biggest challenges as you were growing your business?
Uh, I guess trying to let go of stuff. I don't tint cars. I haven't touched a car,
Yeah,
and to let that go when you're the best, when you feel you're the best, and
yeah,
they're the best. I mean, I'm not trying to do that. Every tinter thinks they're the best, and that's the stumbling block I hear from everybody I talk to about. Yeah, people gotta win, da, da, da. And the biggest thing is like anybody, anyone I know, I don't want to. I don't want to let. They don't want to let go. They want to still have every aspect of, And some people don't even want to hire somebody to run the front desk and phone, so they're answering the phone and tinting, giving tinting. So that'll work for so you get so big and you get a good leader following you and all of that. But if you want to grow, you have to learn to trust others and let stuff go. It's hard to do. But
yeah. Well, I mean that's great advice, and because that is a big challenge for people when they're in the bay, whether it's that they have these roadblocks of letting go of the control or being able to afford another helper. I call it growing pains. When if we want to bring in another person, well, we've all got to pull together, and we've got to bring in enough revenue that next hire is going to be a profit center.
it'll be lumpy. It'll go down a little bit because you're training and you're helping them learn, and they're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna waste. They're gonna have to cost training. You didn't want to all do, but it is inevitable. You're gonna, quality might drop for a while doing that, and you just got to pull those. Just a matter of training. part of growth that you got to grin your, grin and bear it and push through it. Because when it works, it works. 32 great employees, 5, 6 great managers are running all these different divisions, 2 ops of our security film, glass graphics. All of those guys have been with me. The youngest, 15 years, and the most senior manager I have is 35.
Mm,
You know, I've been blessed that they're here and they're still here. I mean, treat people well, they'll stay. I reward them for what they do, give them the freedom they need to do what they got to do,
yes.
and it works. And sometimes it doesn't. Lost people too that left. We do it. So just be confident in what you offer. It's different from everybody. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's good. So I know that when we jumped on, our schedules were off with the timing and everything, and I know you're very busy. And I thank you for taking this time. But one thing, as a legend in this business, Tommy, okay, what words of wisdom would you give to our industry or to installers or to business owners? What would you like as, some parting words? I just want to respect your time to get back to work. But I mean, I'd love to sit here and talk with you all night. I mean, what we've done, we've discovered so much more. We're going to have you back. We'll get our scheduling right. Okay. But what kind of blow some soul for us, Tommy?
I don't know. Well, first of all, let's clarify. Legend just means you're old. I don't know. I just this business, everybody, but when you find it and you like it, love it, um, something that very rewarding. But treat everybody, treat people with dignity, and to give people rope to do what they can do and not hang themselves. And then just it's just a great industry with the innovations that are happening in the industry are amazing. Back in the day when I just had dyed film to install, I thought we were the rats. It went from dyed film that took in 6 months here in Hawaii to films that you can switch on, films that transition, like a cool view now. I mean, there's so much technology. We've got signal defense films we install.
Yeah.
There's so much to our industry now. We're an actual industry. So, those of you just getting into it, proud, a lot of us, down the trees, the roads to make it easier for everybody else. Sometimes I hear stuff or see stuff in forums, and it's like, wow, clue. There's no clue. Older business guys that have been 30 or 40 years make it for them to do what they do. I mean, it's, uh, be respectful and be grateful that we've great industry, great business. You can raise your family, buy a home, buy a car, put in a chunk of money in retirement, and get out before your back goes.
or your shoulder, or yeah, a lot of stuff, right? Us flat
Mhm.
glass guys. God
Yeah,
dang.
exactly.
You're right, Tommy. The industry's really pulled together from, you know, you know, Tint Wiz, Eric, Devash, man, they've done so much for our industry. He's done so much, in the software development, and we've got this new faction going on with Carlos and the Texas Squeegee unifying the industry because we all used to not maybe get along as much. We all thought we were the only tint shop we wanted you at, and we all want the business, but he's really unifying any brand, all brands. Heck, I mean, you're a huge Vista dealer, and I'm just enjoying talking with you. It's not just about brand, it's about the industry. And Carlos is leading that whole charge. And then he's bringing in, his heart. I mean, and the true fact of what he's seeing out there is that people with illness, okay, in our industry might not have been able to afford insurances, this or that, and they're devastated with bills. And so he's doing all this for, to give back. I mean, the guy's just busting his ass trying to have this nice event. So, I mean, it can flourish and just be one stepping stone as a giving back saving grace. And right now, Donnie Dixon is the gentleman that is, on the forefront. Everybody knows who Donnie is, and he's going to be the recipient of this latest fundraising event that we're all doing. Okay, I mean, Expel is donating film to Carlos's Tint Battles. Cool View's donated this trip. You're donating your time. There's all kinds of other events going on. The unification is just like you said. It's something that makes you feel proud to be associated with.
Yeah.
And when I see men that have literally, I mean, you're in the top 10 dealers every freaking year, okay, forever. I mean, when I see someone like you, Tommy, I'm just so blessed to have been able to share this time with you and the time I spent with you at your shop. Man, I'm humbled. Thank you so much
I'm more
for,
humble.
yeah,
Appreciate the. Yeah, we'll do it again, man. So let us know let me know when you got. We can take it.
yeah. Well, that sounds great. Okay, everybody. Tommy, thank you. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to have Donnie Dixon on with us himself. I want to get to know him. I want to get to know him and what he's about, where he's from. This is just going to be a good time. I'm just a fat old man and I'm curious.
I know that's great. I'll be watching.
Tommy, aloha, my friend. Thank
Hello.
you.
Thank you very much. And God bless everyone.
Bye bye now.